All right, boys and girls, let's look at our math message for today. We are doing lesson 2.3, and it says, tell me what you notice about the double 10 frame. So look at your double 10 frame and tell me what you notice. So be looking at it, and then I'm going to come back and write in some ideas that you may have said. Okay, so what are some things that you noticed? Yep. There are 2 10 frames. Good job. That's right. There are 10 boxes in each frame. Okay, what else did you notice? Good job. All the boxes total give me 20. So all of them give me 20. Maybe some of you notice that there are rows. So this is a row, this is a row, this is a row, this is a row, and that makes how many rows? How many rows does that make? Good job, there's 5 rows. And I'm going to change my color. How many columns do I have? So this is a column, this is a column, and these are columns. So how many columns do I have? Good job, 4 columns. All right. You may have come up with some other ideas, but those are the ones that we want to make sure that we highlighted for this lesson. And this is going to help us with our thinking, okay, our mathematical thinking. So let's look at our target. All right, our target says, I can make sense of others' mathematical thinking. All right, so that means you are going to listen to what other people are saying. If we were in class, we would have a discussion on that tens frame, and then you would understand. So did you understand some of the concepts that Ms. Foster showed you? The columns, the rows, the how many boxes. That's where you're making sense of others' mathematical thinking, okay? And I can explain my own thinking. So when you explain, you are telling me what you know and how you solved a problem with math. Remember, sometimes on your math journal boxes or in the classroom, it'll say explain. And you can't just say, just because I know. You have to tell me an answer and write it out. And Ms. Foster always tells you, well, how did you get that answer? And then you tell me, and I'm like, well, just write that. That's a very good explanation of your mathematical thinking. And our last target is that you can look for patterns, groups, and properties. Now this is a big word, but we know this. We've been doing this since kindergarten. Properties for math are going to be the characteristics that you see. So we can sort things based off of color, or we can sort them off of shape or size. So patterns, groups, and properties, they all kind of fall together, and it's kind of like this big umbrella of words, and that's what we're going to be working with today. So this is our target for 2.3, and we're going to do some practices now with some quick look cards. All right, I'm going to flash up a quick look card. This is going to kind of be hard on video, but I will try to make it as quick as I do in the classroom. And I want you to tell me your answer, and I want you to tell me how you got that answer. All right, here we go. So what was your answer? Good job. If you said 8, you are correct, because we know that 4 plus 4 gives you 8. Okay, so let's do another one. What is your answer? Good job. If you said 10, you are correct, because you can move these 2 dots over here and it fills up a complete tens frame. Good job. All right, now let's look at this one. I'll show that one to you one more time. My hand may have gotten in the way. And what is your answer? Good job. It is 10 because you can move these dots over and it fills up a complete tens frame. All right, let's see about this one. Did you say 12? Good job. How did you come up with 12 so quickly? Yep, because you know this tens frame is 6, and 6 plus 6 is a doubles fact, and that equals 12. Good job. All right, what about this one? Well, that was a hard one, wasn't it? I'll show it to you one more time. Did you say 18? You said 18, you're correct. And we're going to talk about this one a little bit later, but the quickest way to make 18 would be to take this dot, move it over to this tens frame, or this dot to this tens frame, and that fills up a complete frame. And that leaves me with 2 blanks and 8 because it's a tens frame. Because we know 10 minus the 2 dots leaves me with 8. Good job. All right, we only have 2 more. All right, did you say your answer was 10? Good job, it is 10 because you can take these 3 dots and move them over because we know this frame's right here is 7 because we have 4 and 3 is 7, and you put the 3 over here. 7 plus 3 is 10. Good job. All right, last one. That was an easy one, wasn't it? Answer is 10. Same thing. We know 6 and 4, move those over, gives me a full tens frame. 6 plus 4 is 10. Good job. All right, so that is working with our 10 frames, and let's go back to my targets, okay? I can make sense of others' mathematical thinking. If we were in class, we would have a discussion over those 10 frames, the flashcards, the dots with them. But I want you to help me explain, I want you to help me explain your own mathematical thinking. So you're going to explain your own mathematical thinking, and we're going to use this tens frame to do that, okay? So let me turn it sideways. And so I want you to help me. So what do you think? How did you solve this this tens frame? How did you solve that? Good. You saw that they both were matching each other. So you could have said just in your head, 4 plus 4 equals 8. And that's actually a doubles fact. Okay? We had a couple of those. We had a couple of those doubles facts. And let me flip through my card. So this one is 4 plus 4. And then here's another doubles fact. What is that one? Right, 5 plus 5. And then we had another one. 6 plus 6. And I believe that was all our doubles facts. Yep. All right, so you are using a mathematical strategy because you saw a pattern. And the pattern, and actually it's patterns and groups. The patterns that the dots were the same in each tens frame, and then you group them based off of the doubles facts that you know. So you were able to explain your mathematical thinking because you know your doubles facts. All right, so let's look at the rest of the cards. So let's look at this one. And how did you find the answer to this one? Because that's a lot of dots. Good. You know that this is a tens frame and this is a tens frame. So I have a 10 and a 10. So 10's our friendly number. We're able to make combinations of 10 pretty easy. But we also know that it's missing 2 dots. But we know the doubles facts of 10 plus 10 equals 20. But it doesn't have the full 10. So you could either have used your doubles facts and said 10 plus 10 is 20. I'm going to subtract out 2, which gives me 18. So the 18 is this card. Or you could have moved this dot over to here. That left this tens frame blank, and the total of these dots in here would be 8. And so 10 plus 8 equals 18. So you could have done it either one of those ways. Okay. What about this one? How did you find the answer to this one? Good. Most of you would have said you would have moved those dots over, left this frame blank, and that filled that frame. So your answer is 10. Okay, so you're making combinations of 10 because we know this is 4 and 3. So 4 and 3 gives me 7 in this frame. And then you move these 3. So basically 7 plus 3 equals 10. So you're making combinations of 10 that way. Good job. Let's look at this last one. Okay, this is the one that I said, oh, this is an easy one. What'd you do for this one? That's right. You took this whole group and you pushed it over. So now this frame is filled and this frame is empty. And so now you've made a combination of 10 as well. You said 6 plus your 4 and it equals 10. So you're making combinations of 10s with friendly numbers, or you're using your doubles facts, which is what we did at the very beginning right here. So 6 plus 6 on this one equals 12. All right. So now we got to put those, let's go back to our target. Now we're going to have to explain our mathematical thinking using what we did, and what we're going to use is we're going to call it strategies, okay? So I need you to get out Math Journal page 22, and I'm going to show you what I need you to do for your page. At the top of the page, I want you to put TKA. Even though we are at home today, I still want you to put TKA at the top page, because then you know that this was a page that you went over with Miss Foster. All right, so you notice on the page it's got a grid, 2 columns. Good job. And there's 4 rows. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to number those columns and rows. We're going to number each box, actually. So we're just going to number, this is going to be strategy number 1, and this is strategy number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we are going to be coming up with 8 strategies for addition facts. Okay, so we're going to be working on that. We're going to be working on this page several lessons. So when we get in class, we're going to talk. I'll ask you to turn to page 22. But Miss Foster, I've already done that page. I know. We're going to be adding things to this page as we learn different strategies. All right. So we learned 2 strategies today. Do you know one strategy? Good job. I'm going to turn my page sideways so that I can write, because you know Miss Foster's left-handed. One strategy we learned was doubles facts. When we know our doubles facts, that is a strategy for us to help us to answer questions that are, we find numbers that are easy to go to 10 or even beyond, go through 10. So what were some of our doubles facts that we had today? Yeah, we had 6 plus 6. We had 5 plus 5, and we had 4 plus 4. So let's put our doubles fact. 4 plus 4 equals 8. And then we can say 5 plus 5 equals 10. And 6 plus 6 equals 12. So those are doubles facts. So that's a strategy that we use when we're doing addition facts to be able to find numbers. We use those facts in our head so that we can find the answer to solve problems. All right, so that's one way. Strategy number 2, we actually use combinations of 10. All right, that's a big word. Combinations of 10. All right, you can pause the video if you need to be able to spell that word combinations. C-O-M-B-I-N-A-T-I-O-N-S. B-I-N-A-T-I-O-N-S, combination. So we're talking about combinations of 10 that help us to be able to solve for problems. So here was a combination that we used. We had 6 and 4. We moved those 4 dots over and emptied this 10 frame to be able to find and solve the problem, which is 6 plus 4 equals 10. We also had this one, which is 7, because here's a 4 and a 3. That's 7. And we moved 3 over, and we had said 7 plus 3 is 10. And then this was the hardest one, but I say hardest, this was the one that had the most dots. And what we did for that one is we could have used either a doubles facts, starting with our doubles facts, knowing an answer to that, or how we solved it was the combination of moving this dot over, making this a full tens frame, and then looking at this frame knowing that there was 8 left over. So 10 plus 8 equals 18. So combinations of 10, so the examples that we had for that one would be, we could say 10 plus 8 equals 18. That was one combination that we did. We did 7 plus 3 equals 10, which is a combination. And 6 plus 4 equals 10. Now, I want you to circle this one, because we're going to come back to why that one's important in another lesson, because we actually did combinations of 10 to get our tens frame to a 10, but we're going to go through. All right. And we'll talk about that strategy in a couple of more lessons. All right, so this is your lesson for today. We only had 2 boxes to fill in. You need to make sure that you have the 2 strategies. One is your doubles facts, and the other is combinations of 10. And I asked you to circle that one because we're going to come back to that one in another lesson. All right, so let's go back to our math target, which it says, I can make sense of others' mathematical thinking. And remember, if we were in class, we would be listening to what our friends would be saying and thinking about what they said, and to be able to say, yeah, I agree with that, or I can add to their thinking, or I can discuss how they came up with that thinking. I can explain my own mathematical thinking, and that is what we did right here. So you notice it's not a lot of words for explanation. We just know these are ideas. We use doubles facts. We need combinations of tens. And then the last target that we had for today is I can look for patterns, groups, or properties. And remember, that was a big umbrella word for all of those ideas. And the patterns that we saw were how you can take tens frames dots and you can move them over and make a pattern of something that we know and group them, what we know, with a tens frame to be able to solve our problems. All right, boys and girls, that is our lesson for today. This was math lesson 2.3. And when you get finished with this, turn the video off. You have 2 more pages to do. You have to do Math Journal, page 23, and you have to do HomeLink 2.3. Oh, I couldn't have made that any perfect. 23, page 23, and HomeLink 2.3. All right, so when you stop, whenever the video stops, or you go show mom, I want you to show mom your Math Journal page 22. So show mom Math Journal page 22 so that she can see your 2 strategies. And then I want you to complete Math Journal page 23 and HomeLink page 23, and make sure that mom checks those pages and to make sure that you are answering your problems correctly. All right, boys and girls, I will see you in class in the next few days.